everybody, some would say I'm the Reverse, and welcome to my review for The Bad Batch Season 1, Episode 1, the series premiere titled Aftermath. 75 minutes. It's a really chunky episode. I loved it. I am in love with this show already. My expectations were really high. This time period is just really intriguing to me, and it did not disappoint. It was incredible. So let's get into kind of what happened in the episode, my thoughts on it. So the episode started off, obviously, with the logo, the Clone Wars logo burning into the Bad Batch logo, which is another indication that this is basically the Clone Wars Season 8, which I am all for. It doesn't bother me at all, but yeah. And then we have our Tom Kane opening narration, which I wasn't expecting, but very, very happy. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, Tom Kane had a really bad stroke, and he can't do voice acting anymore, so I'm guessing this was before that. So I don't know if he's going to be doing this whole season, all 16 episodes, but he's definitely back for this episode, and he did a great job, and it was great to see that again. And then obviously we had some Revenge of the Sith scenes adapted to animation, which was just so great. One of the things I want from the prequel era is Revenge of the Sith in the Clone Wars animation. We're probably never going to get it, but the quick glimpse we got of Obi-Wan and Anakin and Grievous and Palpatine in his Revenge of the Sith outfit from the beginning, it was all incredible. I just loved it. So yeah, we open on Collar, an ice world, and we see Depa Billaba, which is great and everything. She did have a blue lightsaber. She usually is supposed to have a green one. Doesn't really bother me. We've never seen her with a lightsaber on screen before, on a TV show or series or movie or anything. We've only seen her walking around, and we've seen her in the comics and stuff, and she's had a green lightsaber. Doesn't really matter. She had a blue one in this one, I guess. I don't know, maybe she found a new crystal near the end of the Clone War. Just let your imagination run wild on how her colors switched. But yeah, obviously there are some inconsistencies here with the Kanan comic, which again is a little frustrating for some people. I don't really mind it. There's always going to be inconsistencies when you're bringing something from the page to the screen. 1-to-1 ratio, it's kind of boring. I really liked what they did with this section here. So yeah, basically it's in the middle of battle. The battlefield very Clone Wars-esque, which was great. We had Commander Gray, who had an awesome design. I really loved the lime yellow kind of chartreuse paint job on his armor, and he had a really cool kind of blocky pauldron. It looked great. I really liked that design for a clone trooper. And basically, Caleb Dune comes down. He comes sliding in. He's called for reinforcements. The reinforcements being the Bad Batch. So that's all well and great. We got a cool opening sequence with them, which was great. And then after that, Order 66 gets called, and everyone turns against Depa Billaba. Caleb tries to go run after her, but she tells him to run, which was great. It's a great little piece of continuity there with Rebels. Remember back to Rebels when the Grand Inquisitor was taunting Kanan, asking him what was his master's last words to him, and he said, "Run." And it's just a really cool little piece of continuity that they kept up there. And then after that, Caleb goes running in the woods. And then Hunter and Crosshair go running after him. Tech and Echo stay behind to kind of try to figure out what's going on with the clones, the regs. And then Wrecker keeps up the flank behind Hunter and Crosshair. Interestingly enough, when they find Caleb, Crosshair turns against him, starts shooting at him. And I'll get to more of why that is later. But yeah, basically Hunter tries talking him down. Caleb eventually jumps across this huge chasm and escapes. Hunter says he killed him, and then yeah, that's the end of that section. They then go to Camino, where they learn that the war has ended and stuff, and they learn that the Republic is now the Galactic Empire. All that good stuff. We get the Emperor's speech, and they meet Omega. Now Omega, I was really expecting her to be that character that gets a lot of backlash. You know, Ahsoka season 1 of Clone Wars, Ezra early seasons of Rebels, that character that's quote-unquote annoying. I never found those two characters annoying, to me at least. But, you know, majority of people find them annoying, and then later on they become great characters. I was expecting that for Omega. Surprisingly enough, she's not even annoying. I actually really like Omega. I think she's a cute little character, and a really cool addition to this team to keep it grounded, keep it lighthearted. From what I've seen, the community kind of agrees with me. They don't necessarily dislike Omega, find her annoying or anything, which I was surprised by. I was expecting a lot of people to find her annoying. Turns out that's not the case. People seem to like her character thus far. And she's very mysterious. She's obviously a clone. That's what all that we've really been told about her. She's Nala Se's kind of medical assistant. We don't know whose template she was made from. If it was Jango Fett and they kind of experimented with the chromosomes and stuff. I'm not sure. The X and Y's, maybe they switched them around, made it a female, or if it's another template, we don't know who. But I'm excited to learn more about her. They also teased her to be kind of defective, and she has maybe some sort of abilities. I'm not sure. She seems to be good with a blaster. She kind of, I think she shoots at Crosshair later in the episode. And very accurate, but she's never held a blaster before or anything. I'm a big fan of Omega's character thus far. I think she's a really cool addition to this show. As for the Bad Batch themselves, I found them much more enjoyable than they were in Season 7 of the Clone Wars. A lot of people had the same issue as me. They were kind of caricatures. The Wrecker was just all brawn, no brains. Hunter was kind of one note. Crosshair was just kind of a sketchy dude. Tech, just the nerdy guy. And Echo, obviously, he was the only one that kind of stood out. But everyone in this episode really came into their own, and they felt like real characters, and their charisma was great, and I really, really loved it. After the Camino section, or after the whole Emperor's speech and stuff, they go and get tested. They have a really cool fight scene against, dark troopers, it looked like, maybe. It looked more like the sentry kind of droids that Thrawn faced in Rebels, kind of trained with. That's kind of what it looked like to me. But then after that, they're sent on a mission by Tarkin to Onderon. And there they are basically there to get some separatist insurgents, take them out, wipe them out. And they learn that it's not insurgents at all. There's no droids, nothing. It's just Saw Gerrera and his rebels, which I thought was really interesting. It was a great way to illustrate how morally gray this empire is. Obviously, they're evil, but at this point, they're kind of morally gray. Nothing pretty unclear on what's happening there with them. But yeah, a little bit disappointed that Saw Gerrera was in here for 30 seconds, and then they left. Probably going to come back later on. Obviously, they made an entirely new model for him. They made a whole new model for every single one of his rebels, his quote-unquote insurgents, and they completely remade Onderon. Or maybe they reused the asset from Season 5 of the Clone Wars. I doubt it, though. So, my guess, we're probably going to revisit this at some point later on in this season. Hopefully, we get more Saw Gerrera. I really like his design here. The scar on his face and everything, yeah. But then they leave Onderon and they go back to Camino to get Omega because they kind of earlier Namaste was talking about 5 defective clones. They kind of come up with the conclusion that Echo used to be a reg. He doesn't count. Omega's the 5th one. They go back for her. Crosshair's obviously very against this. And when they're there, they end up getting captured in the brig, and basically they go and take Crosshair out of the brig, and they amplify the effects of his chip. Apparently, he has a chip. It's less effective than the regs. So that begs the question: Does Hunter, does Crosshair, or not Crosshair? Does Hunter, does Wrecker, does Tech? Do they have chips? We know Echo does. His just didn't activate because of all the different all the cross wiring and stuff that the Separatists did to him. But do the other members of Clone Force 99 have chips? We don't know yet. But yeah, basically the effects of it were amplified, and that's the end of it. Crosshair comes back later on, and he basically he is with the Empire now, and he gets a cool new black covert ops outfit. Looks like a kind of prototype Death Trooper. Could be a really cool way to connect that to Rogue One. So yeah, the Bad Batch gets out of prison. They take Omega with them, and they head to their ship. They get all their stuff, and they have a little shootout with Crosshair, which is really, really awesome. And then they leave. And now, obviously, they're on the run from the Empire. They say they have to go hide out somewhere. They have to lay low. And they say they have a contact, and they plot a course for J-19. And I'll talk about J-19, what that is, later on. But yeah, and then they jump into hyperspace. So, yeah, a great episode. Great action, great character work, some really awesome connections. Obviously, Kanan and Depa Billaba showing up was great. All that, but yeah, I think the coolest thing about this show is the animation. It just looks so damn good. It's so good. It looks so good. It's season 7 animation, but on crack. You know, it just looks so good. So yeah, if I was to give this episode a little ranking, it would probably be like a 9.7 out of 10, maybe. It does have a little pacing issues, like mainly in the first half, in my opinion. Other than that, it's pretty awesome episode, not gonna lie. And obviously there are, like I mentioned earlier, there were continuity issues with the Kanan comic and stuff like that, but I don't really mind that, because obviously I prioritize the Bad Batch over the comics, just in terms of canonicity, I guess. I don't know how you'd say that, but yeah. So yeah, let's talk about some predictions. First, J-19. Who is this contact next week? So first off, next week's episode, or not next week, Friday's episode, I should say, is called Cut and Run. And here, let me pull up the synopsis for next week's episode, because it gives us a little bit of insight on what the episode will be called. So let me find it. I cannot find it. One sec. Here it is. It's the Bad Batch visit an old contact. Everything that's been said in the episode as well. But yeah, who is this contact? What is J-19? Where are they going? What are they looking to do? Simple answer for that. J-19 is basically the designation for the, I think it's pronounced the Seol Rep sector of the galaxy, obviously, sector J-19, and it contains the Seleucami system. Everyone knows what Seleucami is. If you don't know what Seleucami is, look it up. Just look up J-19 on Wikipedia and do some digging, go down the rabbit hole, and you'll figure out what I'm talking about. But the Seleucami system obviously has the planet Seleucami. Who is on Seleucami? Cut Lawquane. Pretty simple as that. That's their contact. It's going to be Cut Lawquane. If it's not Cut Lawquane, it's Captain Rex, and Captain Rex, after the Clone Wars, has been camping out with Cut Lawquane. Either way, we're going to see Cut Lawquane. It's called Cut and Run. At first, when the episode title leaked, I was not expecting... I wasn't expecting it to be Cut Lawquane. A bunch of people were jumping to conclusions saying, "Oh, it's 100% going to be Cut Lawquane." I wasn't on board with that. I wasn't going to say it's 100% Cut Lawquane. I was still skeptical. But after this J-19 situation, it's going to be Cut Lawquane. And if it isn't, it's going to be Captain Rex, who's going to be with Cut. So, yeah. So those are my, you could call them predictions, but it's kind of confirmed, maybe, I don't know. Or they go there and they find out the farm is deserted, Cut and his family have either been taken by the Empire, or they've been, I don't know, they've deserted their home and run off somewhere. I don't know. But it has to do with Cut Lock Queen for sure. Who will probably lead them to Rex, is what I'm thinking. For episode 3, the title is Replacements. And, here, I will pull up the, the synopsis. And it says, the Batch, meaning the Bad Batch, gets stuck on a desolate moon. Now, what could the replacements mean? Now, this is going to be jumping to conclusion, but could it mean Delta Squad? Could it mean... My guess is it's some sort of special ops commando squad that's replacing what the Bad Batch would have been under the Empire. Most likely led by Crosshair. My guess is that it's the special commando kind of black clone trooper squad that we see in the trailers with the flame troopers and stuff, all that. I'm guessing that's what replacements means. As for the desolate moon, I have no idea. Beats me, but yeah. So that's my prediction for episode 3. Something to do with Crosshair and his new, his new squad, I'm guessing, is what episode 3 means. But yeah, episode 2, Cut and Run, most likely going to be about Cut Lock Queen on Seleucami. Basically, I'm like 95% certain, because J19 is obviously where Seleucami is. And then episode 3, Replacements. Really don't know what Desolate Moon means. Maybe it's the moon from the end of the Clone Wars. That's how they bring Rex into it. Not really sure, but yeah. So yeah, it was a great episode, and I'm really excited for Friday, the next episode, and of course all future episodes. I'm really excited to see what they have in store for this season. Obviously, they're bringing Fennec Shand, Captain Rex. I hope they bring in characters like Cody and obviously Darth Vader, maybe the Inquisitors, stuff like that. I'd like to see some deep cuts, like I mentioned earlier. Delta Squad would be great. NK Necrosis would be really, really cool. Obviously, that's being the General Grievous, but after Revenge of the Sith, he was kind of turned into a droid. I think that'd be really, really awesome. Really cool connection to Legends. Obviously, the only reason that this is in my head is because seeing that freaking the Season 7 Clone Wars General Grievous design again really stuck in my head. I just really want to see that in action. But yeah, I am a huge fan of this show already. The animation is incredible, the characters are great, the story's great, the time period is great, and I just really can't wait to see what they pull out. I don't know. But yeah. Tell me in the comments what you thought of this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think is going to be happening in next week's episode, episode 3, and future episodes of The Bad Batch. And, yeah, see ya.